Good to see you.
Alright there, Revenants, welcome back to Code Vein in the Road to 100, where today we are going to be using the Berserker Blood Code. I sure will, Yakumo, don't worry. And you can see here that this Blood Code kind of sports not really a lot of anything except strength, survivability, and stamina. So this is very, very much like a brutality blood code in a sense, where you are simply trying to smash the enemy as much as possible. And there is one interesting thing here about this blood code, is that if you go for some of the other types of moves that you have, the running attack for example, the heavy attack, just the regular heavy attack, right now we have 2007, and if we just go for Flashing Fang, then all of a sudden we have 4015. Now that is fine, and then 4015 matched with the regular heavy attack is a 45% increase into our damage output, and it deals, you know, a significant amount of damage in one hit. So that is a massive increase in damage, just for no, no increase in I-core requirements or anything. Just the fact that we have just a regular old basic attack on our weapon here. Okay. And we'll go for the heavy attack again. And Swallow Cutter is an 80% increase to our damage, just straight up off the bat there. And so that is a great, fast build, or a fast gift to bring along with you. And going for the double foul blood barrier here, we don't take any damage, on an attack from an enemy. And so that is really important for us to keep that in mind. And we need to make sure that we always have the double foul blood going here. But we only have, you know, one of them one of the time, right? Because Yakumo occasionally will not get hit. Okay. So we've gotten a couple hits there, and you'll notice that, okay, we are ready to go, so it's time for a big hit with this guy, and the heavy attack there, the right click of the mouse, whoops, and we'll go for another right click, and you can see that just the right click all in and of itself is a great method to, you know, have kind of almost a built-in damage modifier just to, you know, apply whenever you need it. Now, you might be thinking, well, Owen, what about the impulse anchor? Since it has a 60% modifier on its heavy attack, isn't 60% more than the 45% of the Juggernaut Sledgehammer? And you would be right, except for the fact that the Juggernaut Sledgehammer is just higher damage overall in and of itself, just as a weapon. And so the damage increase from the 15% of the impulse anchor extra damage, from the 15% that the heavy attack is increased, is not as much as the damage increase from just the scaling itself of this being an A over the impulse anchor being I believe it's a C+, yeah, so this is an A, D+, for strength and dexterity respectively, and this is a C+, E+, strength and dexterity respectively, and those being like 1.5 letters above the Juggernaut, or the Juggernaut being 1.5 letters above the impulse anchor. The increase in damage does not allow you the extra benefit of having more damage So that's something you need to keep in mind. And you can see that we only hit the enemies kind of every now and then, and that's just because of the fact that, you know, we don't really have a lot of ichor, and so we kind of need to choose our advances on these enemies, you know, very, very, very choosy, and we need to be very, very, you know, deliberate in how we go about attacking these enemies. And we need to make sure that, you know, everything that happens is not some kind of, you know, accident. Okay, so we have Steadfast Strike on deck here. So, did we catch the other one? Nope. Okay. Okay. And bang. So that is a very powerful combo because this goes to 4,000, and then with a 5 times multiplier of Steadfast Strike, that goes to 20,000 just from those couple of gifts. She really did not... Okay, whoops. My parries are off. But you can see that because of the stagger potential, as well as the ability to, you know, hit these enemies in a good enough pattern that allows us, you know, the ability to continually whack them around. It makes for a great setup here. And if we go for backstabs on this fine specimen, it only helps us raise that cap from 10 to 30 and almost restores our ichor. So very, 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 very good that way. Now these enemies, they take you know, increased defense to crush, so this is not the weapon that we want to be going up against them with, and so that is kind of a problem that we have, is that we are using, you know, the weapon that is their best defense against. So let's see what kind of ichor we have at the end of this. Good. Okay, so we are ready to go. Let's see about maybe a parry here. Okay, and maybe a charge drain. That's fine. Good. Okay, so not exactly the greatest defensive abilities that we had there. We did negate, you know, quite a bit of the damage. Whoops. Okay, and let's see about a launch. There we go. Very good. Okay, now the charge attack is not really that great for the Juggernaut Sledgehammer, and you can see there that the first strike missed, but we did move within range and finally hit her with 2 of those attacks, and that is kind of a strange oddity for the Juggernaut Sledgehammer, is the 3 strike combo that it has built into the charge attack, and there is really no time in the game that is actually like really super beneficial to buff up really strongly because of the fact that it is 3 hits and how you are locked into the animation for those 3 hits. So there's no way to like buff the 3rd hit or something, and there's really nothing that you can do that is, you know, super beneficial for it. So the heavy attack is one of those that is something that you can do something about, and we are indeed, you know, doing something about those, and that's where we are getting a lot of our power from, is just the fact that we have the ability to, you know, whack people with the heavy attack here. Okay. And because we have Savvy Evasion on, it only takes us three dodges to get focused here, and Drain Boost is not really taking effect here as much as I would have liked it to have during these attack sets, but that's okay. I guess we'll just take what we have and just keep moving. But you can see that Berserker is not exactly the greatest blood code. because it is pretty limited in almost every single way, because you are very low ichor. You have very little potential to recover ichor along the way here. We could go for like a whole bunch of blood code things, but this is much better to showcase the strengths of what this blood code can do. But you can see that you know, we don't really need you know, a whole lot to make ourselves effective. And you can see that like one string of attacks drains our entire stamina bar pretty much, which is really, really bad. Okay, so this guy drops down and we will do the heavy attack on him, and 8,000 damage. So that is really great that we are able to do so much damage so very quickly. Just because of the fact that we have, you know, a heavy attack built into the weapon. And not every heavy attack in the game is actually useful, but because this is a very, very wide sweeping strike, it is actually pretty useful because it hits everything in front of you, and it's not a huge wind-up, but it is a very long delay to recover from the frames, from the active frames of the strike. So this guy, again, will do a heavy attack, knocks him off. Whoa. Let me get my directions here. We'll just take the parry because it's the safest thing to do here, without getting our faces chopped off. So when you get to the end of the game, this is typically how, you know, people play through the beginning of the game, is they get a very, very big, strong strength blood code at the very beginning, and then it quickly gets overshadowed by Atlas, Yakumo's blood code, and I will show you why. Atlas is just better in literally every single way, pretty much. And so you can see that we still get all of our damage and all of our defenses and everything, but it's just better. It's just better as compared to Berserker. So 1673, 1736, I mean, you get more damage, you get more everything, and it's just better. And most importantly, Atlas has a C in mind, which is really, really important. It may not seem like much, but that is a very important number to have. And we'll just do heavy attacks here. So 3200, you can see that we did there. 3200 is a pretty good damage value to have on a weapon that has no buffs on it at all. It's just the straight up weapon damage plus the hammer mastery. But, you know, hammers are basically light two-handed swords, so keep that in mind. But it still is really, really good overall damage. As you can see there, 24,000. We did in one hit. So there is some pretty crazy things that you can do with even a very, very, very sub tier blood code built into a lower class heavy weapon. But the Juggernaut Sledgehammer does not disappoint here, as you can see, and we are able to really, really do some meaty damage versus most of these enemies as we go through here. And there's really nothing that can stand against us. That really is, you know, a problem that we have to watch out for. And you can see that we only healed once through that entire area because of the double foul blood barrier, so that is really, really nice to have. And let's see if she'll do a okay, good. There's our parry. So if we get that, and then we can go for a swallow cutter. So 11,000 damage, because Steadfast Strike is a 5x multiplier. That is typically the one you want to go for, but Swallow Cutter is an 80% increase, so it's almost double, and it is a really, 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 really fast attack. As you can see there, it's just really, really fast. And if you're looking for quick damage, and you can look at the frames of this and the frames of this, and they're about the same. Swallow Cutter does have a better recovery time, and Swallow Cutter is 25% more damage on top of the heavy attack. But you know, if you need quick damage, you can, you know, pull it out pretty fast right there, and, you know, get a move on with whatever damage you want to be dealing against the enemy. So anyways, I will cut it here. We'll finish out the rest of the hard parts here in the next couple of videos, but I just kind of want to showcase that Berserker still does have a place, and it can still put down some pretty tough enemies, even ones with very, very high resistances to it, and Juggernaut Sledgehammer still has a place in Vayne, and still has a blood code that it can still pair up with. So Oliver is not forgotten. He is still living on in our dreams here with these blood codes and these hammers. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.